Hi, I wanted to show off my special room in my house. It's called the Curiosity Room. It's my version of a man cave, I guess. Let's take a look. So, I have a degree in biology and always loved science and natural history and all the ologies: biology, geology, astronomy, you name it. So I got the opportunity to put one of the rooms in the house of just my science and history junk, anthropology, you name it. It's in this room, so I thought I'd give a tour of it. Well, let's start. Here's a main display area here. So here's all my guidebooks in case I find something in the woods I don't know what it is. I bring it back and possibly put it under the stereo microscope if it's some kind of insect or even smaller. You can't see like bacteria or anything. It's just a low power, but you can really see details in insects and fungus and stuff like that. So there's kind of geology, a mineral shelf there. I love primitive art, so I got some tiki stuff, Polynesian, and some butterflies. Of course, there's the owl butterfly. So there's a Stanley engine. It runs on a candle flame. Really cool. Scientific instrument. I love Mayan, Mesoamerican history and culture, so I carved these two glyphs by myself out of plaster. It says basically 5 jaguar, and I forgot what that glyph means, but there's a trebuchet, of course, and my quartz crystal ball. And of course, I love robots, so they had to have a shelf in here. So lots of cool, just everything I find or collected over the years that I really think is interesting. It's in this room. I mean, there's a Indian projectile point I found in the back of the creek last year. I mean, it's like 8,000 years old. I've already researched it, and I've talked to a Maryland archaeologist and confirmed it. So that's from like at atlatl instead of a arrow. And here's a soapstone shard from a bowl. I mean, just found back at the creek, like 100 yards behind my house. And there's other, I find deer antlers in the woods and stuff, and turtle shells, and anything I find or if historically interesting, I put it in this room. I love Egyptian history and everything, so I have some plaster replicas of that. There's my butterfly collection I got for Christmas last year. Love it. It's amazing butterflies. Let's see what else. I have some live plants in here too. I mean, I got an orchid, of course. So all the Victorian era explorers had to have orchids in their studies, so I got mine. And I got some succulents and cactus. They're really interesting plants. And of course, all natural history buffs need a rock hammer. And let's see, and of course a pith helmet. I wore this dressed up as a 19th century British explorer at Halloween last year. I wore the pith helmet. This is a carnivorous plant. The insects get stuck in the pitchers at the bottom, and so you don't have to add fertilizer or anything. They just live off of insects that fall in the pitchers. I hang it out in the backyard in the summer. And there's my telescope. I've got some really good photos of nebulas and planets and the moon and stuff with that. So I love that. And let's see, of course there's Olmec head replica. Here's my vivarium. I keep 2 tree frogs in there. I found maybe 6 months ago. So I've always liked tree frogs, so I finally made a vivarium for them and try to make it as natural as possible. See if you can see. There's the gray tree frog right there. Oh, green tree frog, I'm sorry. His name is Wren. You can kind of make out the gray tree frog in the back up on the leaf. Let me open up the glass so you can get a better view. So yeah, that's the gray tree frog up there. And there's my green tree frog. So I feed them crickets, and they're very happy with that. I just like throw 3 or 4 in there every other day, and they go to town on it. So anyway, so yeah, that's my curiosity room. I'd just like to come out here and sit on the sofa and of course watch the TV and just relax and be with my books and curiosities. So anyway, that's the tour of my curiosity room. Thanks for watching.